You're busy today.
Hey team, no excuses. Yes, I am busy today, Tiffany. I love when the thing, so when we go live with these things, it takes a minute to go live. So I was talking to Tiffany before I went live, and then Tiffany was like, "Oh, you're busy today." Yes, I am. Oh, hey team, we're live. So yeah. One time I went live with April, and it was funny because April and I were chatting back and forth, and she was showing me her nails as the thing went live, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to go that quick." And I was like, you never know. But yeah, so I do have naked nails. I'm trying to decide between these two of which one I want to put on for the weekend, and I can't decide. So
I have these.
oh, I know. I love how bright those are.
I
Like,
can't get it to. There we go.
focus in. I can see them.
My 9-year-old is really good about that.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Okay, so team, happy Friday. I'm here with Tiffany, and she's going to share kind of like a big umbrella of information with us. So she's going to share with us about sales, parties, and enrolling because she is very consistent at all three of those. She has been since she joined, and she is one that continues to be on our leaderboard month after month after month. So obviously what she's doing is working, and you guys already know one thing that I preach over and over is if you want to be successful, you find somebody that's successful and you do what they do. So that's why I try to make it a thing month after month to bring these top performers on to do trainings for the team and share what they're doing, because obviously what they are doing is working. If they are continuing to max out the comp plan with 2,400 plus in sales, if they are continuing to build their team and enroll stylists and hit circle of excellence every month. I mean, these ladies that are coming on to train the team, they know what they're doing. So I know it's not always easy to catch things live, but there is so much power in investing in your business. I call it business development because personal development and business development are so important in your success with your Color Street business and, you know, any type of business in life. Personal development helps me get through mom life, wife life, you know, everything. So it's just very, very important. But today, this would be considered business development because Tiffany is going to share with us some things that are really going to be helpful to all of us. And I need to take notes too, because I have not been, you know, top notch with my business lately due to some things that I have going on in my life. So I'm super excited to hear from her. So Tiffany, if you want to maybe just introduce yourself really quick, because we do have a lot of new people on the team. And then we can hop into the training.
Sure. So my name is Tiffany McKernan. I have been a Color Street stylist since January 25th of 2020. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I signed up, because none of us knew what was going to happen with the pandemic. But I have not regretted it one moment since I signed up. So just a little bit about me. I'm married to my husband of 12 years. His name is Todd, and we have 4 daughters, which is one of the reasons why I am a stylist, because about 9 months after I bought my first nail strip, I was convinced by someone to try it. So I tried it, and within 1 week of trying it, I signed up to be a stylist. So after one application, I had no idea what I was doing, and I just kind of spiraled from there. So my daughters and I, my two older daughters who are 9 and 7, we split a set of nuclear fusion, and the rest is history. So I thought, if my 2 daughters like it, then the other 2 are going to like it. And eventually I'm going to end up spending $1 million in nail polish in Color Street. So I might as well get a discount and some free nails. So, or some cash back. So that is how I became a stylist. I am a full-time working physician assistant. I work in the urology department of one of our local hospitals here. So I'm busy. I mean, we're all busy. And so time management has been a struggle for me as well. And it's constant, adjusting and tweaking, which is kind of one of the themes I'm going to go over today, is that when you think you've got it under control, something happens and you have to change and you have to shift and like pivot. It's the theme, the word that defines 2020. You just figure it out. And at the end of the day, I tell myself all the time, this is not life or death. this is nail polish. It's
Mhm.
fun. It's meant to be fun. That's why we signed up. So don't stress, give yourself grace, because at the end of the day, it's nail polish. There's no
Yeah.
nail emergency. So,
Right.
um, so anyway, so that's kind of how what's in the back of my mind all the time. And it makes it fun because then you
Yeah.
don't stress yourself out. So, but like Danielle touched on, my number one thing that I always say every time I do any sort of training is personal development, business development is crucial. I did not do this the first several months. And part of the reason why I still felt like saw success at that time was because I was constantly talking about Color Street all the time. My husband was sick of me talking about it. The surgeon I work with was sick of me talking about it. I mean, I talked about it all the time. I was so pumped about it. So, you build your relationships with your Color Street relationships with your friends at that point in your family. But then there comes a time where if you're not doing personal development or business development, it catches up with you. So, you'll get on the momentum of just your excitement of Color Street and that you're a new stylist at the beginning, but that only gets you so far. Some people gets them through the first month or two. Some people gets them through the first 6 months, but eventually you'll realize that there's a piece to your business that's missing, and that's it.
Yes.
That's what I found. And so because I'm busy, I don't like to take time out of my family time in the evenings. I try not to do any Color Street in the evenings with my kids. I try to be off my phone. So I was left with, well, what time do I have? And I commute about a little over half an hour to work. So I listen to personal development and business development. I kind of alternate them on my commutes to work. So that's about an hour a day. And honestly, there's a lot of people that I've listened to that said they do 20 minutes a day. A lot of the Color Street trainings on the Color Street stylist group are about 20 to 30 minutes. So totally doable. If you're cooking dinner or folding laundry. I personally like to watch true crime episodes on TV while I'm folding laundry. So I don't listen during that time, but I've thought about it. I'm like, no, I just can't give that up. I have to keep that guilty pleasure. So it's just all about compromise. You just have to find that little bit of time that you have. And I don't listen on the weekends typically because I'm not driving to work. So it's just so, I'm never caught up. The Color Street Stylist group, if you're not in the official Color Street Stylist group, you should get in it because they're right now doing daily trainings. I'm not sure. They just did a survey to see if they should go to like 3 days a week. And I think most people voted for 3 days a week. It's really hard to keep up with 5. And I feel like you're always missing out on something.
Yes.
So I don't know if they're going to change that. I kind of hope they do. That way we can keep, caught up on those. But this week, especially, they're running the trainings every day this week on booking parties. So I've only watched 2 of them, actually one in the Tuesday training, and it was some great info. And I'm going to summarize what she said yesterday or Tuesday, I think, but I watched it or listened to it yesterday on her method for booking parties with follow-up. So, there's something I implement from these business developments. Every time I listen to them, there's at least one thing that I put on my list to implement in my business. So they're very helpful. And in 20 minutes, like that's a really great investment of your time. And what I like about it is even if my team doesn't have time to listen to the trainings, they're in my VIP group. So they see what I do. And then some of them will take that and run it in their VIP group. And so even if someone on your team is doing personal development, I try to share really good ones in our little team chat. But I know not everybody, feels like they have time to listen to them. So I implement them. And if they work really well, they see that and then they'll implement it in their business. So that's it on personal development and business development. But that's my big key. Like if I could pick one thing, that would be it. Because there's not one thing. I'm not going to change your business, dramatically from one thing. It's a combination of listening to a bunch of trainings. But anyway, the other thing I always think, and what I tell myself all the time, is that I'm no different than anybody else. I'm not, to make myself successful, I'm not doing anything that anybody else couldn't do. And that's kind of how I see it. I look at Kelly France and I look at all these people who have done amazingly well in this company and are great mentors. And there's nothing they're doing that we can't do, that I can't do. And so in my mind, I think, well, someday I'm going to be there too, because there's nothing stopping us except ourselves. So you just keep telling yourself that over and over again, and it'll happen someday. So that's one thing I want to tell you is that I am no different than any of you. Okay. So I'm not doing anything special. Okay. So this is just what I do, and you can take what I do and modify it to fit you, but we're all the same. So there's not one reason why one person is successful and not when one person can't be. So anyway, okay. So I'll kind of go over now what I listened to yesterday or in the training for the Color Street Stylist group. And this is how to book parties. Okay. Because I try to have, right now I run one mega party a month at the beginning of the month. I like to start it at the beginning of the month because then it helps you BQ right away. Sometimes on the first or second day of the month. So I try to do I do a mega party, but I have a pretty good VIP group size. So I have about 650 people in my VIP group, give or take. And that I've built over time with nail bars. And so I recommend to my team that if you're having trouble, if your VIP group you feel like you've oversold them, you're really pushing to BQ this month, but they're not taking any of the sales that you're offering, it's time to have a party. So ask one of them to host a party, give them an incentive to host, and then that's going to bring new people into your VIP group and potentially new hostesses. So reach out to people personally with follow-up. So follow-up, you can use what she described as the ROLES method. So it's ROLES. It's an acronym to help you with your follow-up. So the R stands for relationship or rapport. So you want to develop a relationship with them. So you're going to follow up and say, hey, did you get your accent nail Tuesday or your 2-finger tester that I sent you? Did you have a chance to try it? How did you like it? And then it can just go from there. I try to avoid any copy paste. I just kind of see how the dialogue goes, because even though it takes you longer to type, or if you're doing voice messages, it takes a little bit more time, but they can tell if you're copy paste the entire time. So I just start off with that. And then if they love the sample, say, hey, what's your favorite color? Or did you have a chance to look at the sets online? Do you have a favorite one or one you want to try? If they say yes, then I'll say, okay, well, I can get you, you offer them. So the next step is O. So O is offer. So you want to offer them, not ask them, but offer them a party. Okay. Offer them the opportunity to earn some free nails. So I'll say, oh, that's great. You have, you have a long wish list, or, you want more than one set, or you're new, I'll help you build your stash so that you have some choices when you go to do your nails. I would give you one of those sets that you want for free, and then I can help you earn them by hosting a nail bar. So offer them the opportunity, show them the hostess rewards, because we have a great hostess rewards program. Yeah. And I know that May is almost over, but there's Deanna, who's on my team. She just started a nail bar just the other night because she's really pushing to BQ. And so you can squeeze these in a day or two. So it's not too late to book a nail bar and potentially get somebody 2 extra sets of the Pink Paradise. So you could still offer that as well, because the month isn't over. So don't ask, but offer. And it's all a matter of how you're wording it. So just make it seem like you're offering them a solution.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I like what you just said about it not being too late, because I'm thinking about all of the people that are probably going to be out going to barbecues with family and friends and people that you're going to see in person. So even if you ask somebody, would you like to open up your own link, collect some orders over the weekend, or like for ourselves, open up a party link, if you're pushing to BQ and as you are out at these places, carry some catalogs and some samples, grab, if you have a few sets in your inventory, bring it with you and do kind of like a basket party, like a cash and carry type thing, and just have the nails there and sell those and then place an order, to replenish your inventory. But any type of holiday weekend, you're going to see a lot of family and friends. And with, the people getting vaccinated and the COVID restrictions kind of being lifted, I feel like that fear is kind of settling and people are starting to get out and about. And so I love that idea of what you said. So Go ahead and tell us what the L stands for.
No, that's good. Yeah, because people are going to comment on your nails, especially if you have the patriotic sets on.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's not too late to sell patriotic nails from your stash because 4th of July is going to be coming up. So if somebody compliments you on your nails, you can just say, hey, well, look, they can order them online. They're still available online, or you can offer them something from your stash. So L is listen. So you want to make sure you're listening to their response, because a lot of people, their first inclination is going to say, oh no, I'm too busy. No, I don't have time right now. My favorite is, with my kids and my job, I just don't have time. And all I want to say in my mind is, well, I have kids and a job too, and I'm going to be doing all the work. It's not that hard, but obviously you avoid saying that because you have to acknowledge that, yes, I understand. I totally understand. I get how working life and mom life gets chaotic. So sometimes I'll ask them, is there a better time? Maybe that you think that things are going to be a little less chaotic, that you may be willing, is there a good time for me to check back with you? And then, I have a spreadsheet, and Danielle has a lot of good resources with follow-up. Then I just mark down like not right now, NRN, and the date that I checked in on them, and then what day they want me to follow up. So do I always follow up the exact date that I write down? No, I'm constantly behind on my follow-up. That's one thing I struggle with, but that's okay because 9%, did I hear that? Like 90% of people, this is a personal development that I listened to a podcast, and they said that people don't follow up from direct sales. And I thought about it and I thought, gosh, out of all the Pampered Chef stuff I bought and of all the other direct sales things that I bought, nobody has ever checked on me to see how I liked my stuff. Not one time. So I don't think that they're that far off by saying that statistic. So, and I've had people say, thank you so much for checking in on me. So if you're late, if you've missed the 2-week window or the 2-month window on follow-up, it doesn't matter. Just follow up. It's literally like, hey, Sarah, I want to thank you again for joining Allie's Nail Bar back in March. I just wanted to check in on you and see how you were liking your sets. Which one of the party pack sets did you like the best? So, that's it. And then you just leave it. Leave an open-ended question. Make them feel obligated to answer you. And then from there, that's how you begin the conversation. So it doesn't have to be this big intimidating thing. Just ask them just like you'd ask your mom or your friend. Hey, how are you liking those sets that you got? Do you have trouble getting them on or have any issues? So, and most of the people that try these sets for the first time, if they didn't like them, it's because they had an application error. So it's a really good way to follow up and they say, oh, they just didn't last me very long. I'm just really rough on my hands. And I'll say, well, next time try to use Dawn dish soap on your fingernails, wash your hands with Dawn dish soap before you apply them, see if that helps anymore. Or you can try Clear as Day, because Clear as Day for me has doubled the life of my manicures.
Yes.
Even more than a liquid top coat. And believe me, I'm cheap about it. I don't want to spend money on a top coat on Color Street. If I'm going to buy Color Street, I want a design or a glitter. I don't want to waste my money on Clear. So it took me a long time to try it. But after I tried it one time, I was hooked. And you get twice as much for $11. Like, why? It's totally worth it. So, you just kind of go from there. And so then they're willing to try it again. And if I have to send somebody another Tuesday, I will, because it's a Tuesday, no big deal. But if you would have never followed up with them, then you would have never known, and you could have missed the potential for a hostess or stylist that way. So I definitely, people remember when you do them favors or when you do something extra for them. So if you send them an extra Tuesday because they messed up the application or lost it or whatever, and then they appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. So listen, L is listen to their response. And then E is explain. So explain. If they're interested in hosting a nail bar, you're going to want to explain the hostess rewards. If they're not quite interested in hosting a nail bar or think it's going to be too much work, you can say no big deal, or they say I just don't have a lot of friends I don't think would buy the product. I'm not big on social media, any of those things. You can explain acknowledge, listen and acknowledge what they're struggling with. And then you can explain that, a solution. So You could say, oh, I totally understand. Well, there are many, many ways to host a nail bar outside of social media. And so gives you a chance to explain any other of the kinds of nail bars that you do. So if they only have a couple of friends, you could say, no big deal. Do you want to meet at a coffee shop on a Saturday morning, or meet for drinks on a Thursday night, and we can just, the three of us or four of us sit down and we can just have a little pop-up nail bar, and you can just bring a few sets from your stash and you can help them apply them. That's not something I've ever done, but not something I would be open to if somebody wanted to do it. And it worked with our schedules. So, there are different ways that you can adjust your business and pivot based on, growing your business. I know that somebody just approached me about because we're getting out of COVID, having a brunch nail bar on a Sunday after church. So, we're going to be setting that up this summer. So there's ways that you can change your business, and not that you have to offer it every time, but it depends on how bad you want your hostess. So you can explain the different ways you can host a nail bar. You could say, how about we just open you up a party link? And then that way you can just share this link with your friends, and I'll give you some twosies and you can pass them out, and then you can, share your party link with them and they can order online, and you don't even have an official, we call it an unparty, an unofficial party, where it's just word of mouth. It's really low key. It's really only as much work as the hostess wants to do. And I'm trying a new thing. I'm going to be trying a new thing. I'm going to try a text party. I watched a training on how to do a text nail bar. So I'm going to try that out soon. And I also watched a training on how to do a website-based nail bar off of Facebook. So I'm really trying to diversify my nail bars, because I think people have a little bit of Facebook burnout right now, which I think is why a lot of us are struggling with parties, myself included. I had to, for the first time, given it an incentive to book earlier this week just to film my makeup party for next week. So it's a struggle for everybody right now. And so that's, we're just adjusting. And so I'm listening to business development to try to figure out how to do that. Okay. And then S is summarize. So after you've talked with them and you've decided on something, you want to repeat it back to them. Okay, that sounds great. I know you're really busy right now, but you think maybe at the end of the summer, you're going to be less busy. So I'll check back with you in July and see if you're ready to host maybe in August or September. And so then they'll acknowledge, yes, that sounds like a perfect plan. And then you can go from there. And then I have a spreadsheet which has all my hostesses on it and when they're going to host, like in order. So like my mega party has the 5 people that are going to host in that there. And then I put their sets and everything on that. And then below that I have July, and then I'll have a list of people below these are potential hostesses and when I'm going to follow up, because out of all my follow-up, that's what I don't want to miss, because that's really got a time limit on it, because you don't want to, if somebody says they may host in August and you never follow up with them until the end of August, well, that becomes a problem.
Yes.
So, and that potential hostess list is really very short. Honestly, I feel like most people are either yes or no, not right now. And they just can't pin down if they'll ever want to be a stylist. So I just put, or a hostess. So I'll just follow up with them, and then I'll touch base with them down the road. But if somebody gives me a time frame, I definitely put them on that list. Okay. So that's that training that I watched yesterday in a nutshell. Okay. And you can go to the official Color Street Stylist page and pull that up and listen to that if you want.
Okay.
And then, like I said, parties, they're just trial and error. I found, honestly, that my mega parties, I have a pretty big VIP group. So I was really booking out far in parties. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to make a mega party. And they're great, but they're really overwhelming. That week that I'm doing that party is very hard to keep track of who you've touched base with, who you've welcomed to the party, who you've requested to be a friend with, who you haven't, who belongs to who sometimes, because you don't want them to hit that invite button. You want them to actually click to join. I tell my hostesses, don't invite, because I get at least one invite to a party every day. Unless somebody personally reaches out to me, I don't join it. So I encourage them to send messages, but then that becomes a problem when they join and they're not invited by anyone. So then that's one extra step that you have to do. So it's just very labor intensive. But then after that week, you've over BQ'd. I try to get at least halfway there by the end of that nail bar. So, or halfway to 2,400. by the end of that nail bar. But I feel like when I do an individual party, it's more personalized, and the people that are guests in the party really become more obligated to support their hostess. So the mega parties, I feel like just are less personal, and people don't feel as obligated to support their hostess. And so I'm really struggling right now with, do I go back to just, since party bookings are a little lower anyway, do I go back to just the individual nail bars? Because I just ran one. The girl really didn't want to be in a mega party. She wanted to have her own. And I said, that's fine. We'll do that. So I just closed her party on Wednesday, and she had $600 in sales, over $600 in sales, which I feel like my mega parties struggle to hit 300 each. So, so I don't even know what I'm going to do, but that's just something you just have to adjust your business accordingly. So I'm already set to do a mega party next week, and I'm going to see how that goes. And then I may just have to adjust things. I'm hoping with a text nail bar and with the website nail bar and doing less Facebook parties, because I feel like those are really labor intensive with graphics and going a week long and all those things, that maybe I can balance them out and not have to do a mega party. But still, I just struggle with the lives and I like to have a week or two to focus on my VIP group only, and to be able to run specials and do things. I just feel like I'm stretching myself too thin when I do parties, an individual party every single week.
Yeah.
Because they overlap a little bit, and you're trying to set one up while you're trying to close one, and then you're doing a live. And I feel like I'm always trying to find a time to go live. And so I don't know what the solution is, but the solution is not stopping nail bars.
Yeah.
You cannot, even if you have to cut back your nail bars. And was it yesterday or the day before the training I was watching? She said, it was the text nail bar. She said, I'm not doing as many nail bars in a month as what I was before. But I found that because there's more personal connection, you have more people buying. So it's a better quality.
Yeah, it's quality over quantity.
Yes. Yeah. So you may not get as many bodies. So it may not produce as many people going into your VIP group, because I feel like mega parties are great getting people into your VIP group.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people, and every time I turn around, like, join my VIP group, every time I'm messaging somebody, every time somebody buys, hey, if you join my VIP group, you're in 3 punches in your loyalty rewards card for your order. So then they'll join. And then, so I feel like it depends on what you need.
Right.
Too. So,
and I think too, I try to tell people always just start with one, because I know whether you are brand new or whether you've been here for a year and you are in a slump in your business, don't listen to Tiffany and say, well, I got to go get 6 hostesses to do a mega party.
Yeah,
no. Tiffany's doing that because Tiffany is consistently enrolling people and selling thousands of dollars in nail polish every month. And she has that momentum that's going in her business. But if you are new, or if you have hit a huge slowdown in your business, you focus on one party and you look at what you can do if you personally connect with every guest that's invited to that party. Even if there's only 5 people invited to the party, that's 5 new potential customers you can offer samples to. You can invite to your VIP group. They might all order. I mean, you guys, you don't know. You can't get overwhelmed and look at the big picture when you have to start somewhere, and you have to celebrate all of those very small successes that are going to lead to huge results and a lot of momentum in your business. So
yes, I agree. And yes, and the only reason why I'm doing mega parties is because my VIP group has gotten so big, and I just got booked out far. But like I said, it's been a struggle lately to book hostesses. So I honestly, the individual parties, one party has been more successful than a party with 5 hostesses. So I feel like it is really all about the connection, and you would rather have 5 quality customers, or, a host that books a host, a piggyback party. Much rather have that than a party with a bunch of sales, because you're gonna want to expand your network. And by doing that, if you can personally message and personally communicate with people, then you're going to get way further than just one party with a bunch of sales. Because if you don't have time to touch base with all those people, then they're not going to remember you, and they're not going to go
Yes.
back to you. They may love the product, and they're going to find somebody that they know that sells it. So
Yes.
and that's where I struggle with. You don't want to overextend yourself, because if you don't have time to follow up with those 50 people, which I don't know anybody that has time for that, then you're going to lose customers and potential hostesses and stylists. So yes, start with one. And honestly, I'm getting ready to do this because I did this a year ago. I did it for 4th of July last year. I posted the pick a prize, or the pick a number. It has
Yeah.
6 numbers,
Mhm.
and it has a different picture for each one. And
Yeah.
you say pick a number, and then you will get a prize, or you will host a party. So they'll pick a number knowing that they may host. And then, so I think 2 of them or 3 of them are host, and then 3 of them are different prizes. So numbers. And it was Amanda Yoakum in Nail Vibes had posted
Yeah.
that. So I had shared it, and that is how I got really rolling with my nail bars.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and I had friends host here and there, but it was difficult when we were selling things from our inventory, when the website was sold out, that you couldn't really do many nail bars without becoming completely overwhelmed. So that was when I really first started getting into parties. And so I'm going to do that, I think, on Memorial Day, post that and see if I can't drum up some hostesses for July. So,
Yeah.
just doing one thing where you can start with one hostess and then focus really hard on those guests in that party. And I think that you'll get yourself 5 really great VIPs and at
Yeah.
least one hostess.
Well,
So,
and I was going to add in there, I always say that it's like the circle of Color Street, like the circle of life. But we got to remember too, the relationship comes first. And when these people are invited to these parties, whether it's a messenger party, text party, Facebook party, our job is to build relationships. People aren't buying nail polish, they're buying us. So we need to connect with that person. So, first of all, hey, Tiffany, thank you so much for joining Danielle's party. I'm so excited to have you here. Tell me, have you tried Color Street before? Tiffany says no. I said, great. I'm headed to the post office this afternoon. What's your address? I'll send you a sample. I send her that sample. My next step is to follow up. Hey, Tiffany, did you get your sample? Yes, I got it, but I've been busy at work this week. I'll try it this weekend. Okay, write that down. Follow up with Tiffany this weekend. Hey, Tiffany, I hope you're having a great Sunday. Did you happen to try that Color Street sample this weekend? Yes, I did. I love it. Okay, great. Do you want to try a $10 set from my inventory? That's something I offer my new customers. Yeah, I would love that. Or you can order online and do the buy 3, get 1. Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? Like, it's just a continual thing where you don't just jump right in like, hey, Tiffany, thanks for joining the party. Have you ever thought about being a stylist?
right.
Tiffany's going to be like, wait, what? Hold on. I've never even heard of Color Street before. So it's like these little baby steps in building the relationship where you want them to try the product and then possibly buy the product. Me personally, you don't have to offer $10 sets to new customers. That's just something that I do. So that's why it rolled off my tongue. So don't feel like, that you guys have to do that. Everybody's different. If you have the means to be able to do something like that, then that's great, but you do what fits your budget. Maybe you don't have any inventory to offer. So, you want to tell them, hey, we offer this great thing. It's a party pack. You get 4 sets for the price of 3. Or you can do a French set, buy 1, get 1 free. I mean, you offer, what they have or what we have on the website. And then once they do place an order, you start building those connections around the order. Like, hey, Tiffany, I just checked my back office. I see your order is scheduled to be delivered Saturday. I can't wait to see which nail set you put on. Let that go. And then follow up maybe a few days after her order comes. And hey, wanted to see, did you have a chance to put your nails on? She sends you a picture. Oh my gosh, would you mind posting that in my VIP group? I mean, you just build that connection. I mean, this is like a people-based business. Like, it's relationships, it's network marketing. So you just have to build that relationship. And then once you start doing that, you guys will notice that, getting the orders is going to come, getting the hostesses is going to come. And eventually you're going to start building a team, whether you like it or not, because if you are having fun, truly your vibe attracts your tribe. If people see that you are having fun and you are passionate about this product and this business, people are going to start saying, Danielle, what are you doing? I need to hear more about this because you are just having so much fun and I can see it. And I mean, honestly, that's what a lot of people have told me when they've joined. I say, why did you decide to join with me versus other people? And they'll say, you are so passionate about this. You love what you do, and I can see it all over your face. And I'm like, oh, and that goes back to live videos, because since we do 99% of our stuff online, going live and letting people get to know your personality, letting your shoulders down and laughing and having fun. And so what if your kid walks in to try to show you an Oreo that she did something funny with, like mine just did a minute ago? I mean, it's life. It happens. You roll with it. I mean, I've even had my daughter walk in my, on a live in my VIP group and ask me if she wiped her butt okay after she went to the bathroom. And I was like, oh my gosh, but I just went with it. And my VIPs laughed about it. And they were like, it's mom life, it's fine. And I was like, oh my gosh, that just happened. Like, it happens, you guys. And you want people to get to know you, because when they know, like, and trust you, yes, when they know, like, and trust you, they'll do business with you. They don't want you to be this perfect little business owner that sits on a, gold throne and, everything's all rainbows and unicorns. Like, no, this is real life. This is how we roll. So,
the hot mess mom is, I feel like, a big thing right now, because I mean, we all kind of are that.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I agree. So,
Mhm.
Tiffany, I want to ask you a couple questions as we begin to wrap this up. So, the follow-up is a great way to book parties. You mentioned the party booking games. What would you say is the third best way to get parties booked? Other than like directly messaging, what would you say? Because I know direct messaging is the best way, hands down, to do anything. It's just to directly ask for it. But is there any other like fun way that you can kind of like hook people into hosting, or any tips you have?
I will say, well, I don't know if it's like a fun, exciting way, but using piggybacking a party or booking a party off of a party is huge, because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to try samples at this party, and then they're going to like them. And then if there's another party, which it's their other friend, but they're still friends with them, then they'll order during that party. But so hostess coaching is big. And so towards the end of the nail bar, if you're wanting to book parties, you just message the hostess and say, hey, would you mind messaging 3 of your friends that you think might be interested in hosting a nail bar? Because they get a $25 credit once their friend's party reaches $300 in sales, or a qualifying party. So I offer everything from my stash with my hostess rewards. So I convert that same thing and round up. And so they get everything for free. And so I basically say like two sets shipped, no shipping, no taxes, nothing. I'll give you once your friend's party reaches $300 in sales. So there's something in it for them. And so, so I will, message them and say, hey, are there some friends that you think would want to host a nail bar? Would you mind messaging them? And sometimes if I'm really struggling, I'll message my old hostesses and ask them, hey, are there any of your friends from your nail bar that you had back in January that are really loving this set? Then they'll tell you, and then you can follow up with them yourself. So it saves you some of that. Like, you message 10 people. If you're messaging one person, you're already finding the people that are really loving it, then you can kind of increase your odds with less work. But I mean, I wear and share all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're working, if you have a job, and you're, pretty much everybody in the office that I work with has hosted a nail bar. Yeah. And they have none of them have bought for several months, because they are so loaded up with sets that I'm constantly like, I'm telling you should be a stylist. I don't know. I'm just stating the obvious. Like, you have the stash of a stylist. So I don't know. It's taken you so long. So, and that leads into that whole conversation. But I don't know. I mean, I just do what comes natural. You don't want to be spammy, but I feel like it leads into it when it's time to ask. Offer. Yeah.
I'll tell you one way that I use on my Google Forms for samples. Like, when somebody wants a sample, I send them my Google form and they'll fill that out. And there's an option at the bottom. Would you like to earn free nails by sharing Color Street with your friends and family? And so many people check yes on that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do is a Google form for prizes. So I do a lot of giveaways in my VIP group and in my parties. And when they win, I send them that Google form, and that's at the bottom of that as well. I have them put their name, their address, what they won. And at the bottom, it asks, would you be interested in earning free nails by sharing Color Street? And when they check yes, when I reach out to them, I'll say, congratulations on winning the, whatever giveaway. I'm dropping your gift in the mail tomorrow. I noticed that you're interested in earning some free nails by sharing Color Street with your friends and family. There's 2 ways that you can do that. One of those is by hosting a nail bar, and there's several different ways to do that. I can go over those with you. Or the other way is by starting your own business and becoming a stylist. Which one would you like more information on? And sometimes people will say, well, let me hear about the stylist side of things. So that's why I didn't even put party on there, because you can earn free nails by being a stylist and by hosting a party. So that way, that just opens up that window. And before we end this, we're going to touch just a little bit on enrolling. So that's kind of why I stuck that in there, so we can transition from parties over to enrolling. And like I said a minute ago, is that I think when the party momentum is going, the enrolling is going to naturally happen, because you've got to think, at a minimum, I'll say on average, if you do a single host party, you will have at least 10 people join that party. So that's 10 new people that you are opened up to. Your circle has expanded by 10 more people. And eventually you are going to come across someone that the business is going to spark their interest. If they see that they're having fun at this party that they were invited to, that you love what you're doing, that you are excited and you are passionate about it, they are going to feel the same way, and your vibe is going to pull them in, and they're going to want more. So I think really when it comes to enrolling, I think share the business with anybody and everybody, because you never know who might be interested. And you also never know who's been following you, whether that's your personal page, whether that's in your VIP group or the party that you're hosting. You just don't know. But Tiffany, what do you think as far as enrolling? Maybe like your best tips on enrolling, or for somebody that's wanting to start building a team?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think like Lindsay Williams said in a training a while ago, you just plant the seeds. That's all you do. And you just follow up. And I think the hardest part for me is to make sure that I make a note of who I've talked to and who is, not interested right now versus who I added to the sneak peek group versus, who said, well, I'm really interested, but I'm really busy with school right now, and I'm going to be done, in 6 months. And so I think at the end of that 6 months, I think I maybe want to do it. So then I'll add them to the sneak peek group, and you just got to remember to follow up with them. And somebody said once in a training that was really interesting, and that I have used, is when they say, yes, but I'm not going to be ready until May. Perfect. And what I say is, great. In the meantime, think of what you want to name your business.
Oh yeah, that's Lindsay Coco.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. She's an enrolling queen. Yes. So she has a whole list of things that she gives, tasks that she gives potential stylists or people who are going to sign up to do, tasks to do prior to signing up. So it keeps them busy, and then she enrolls everybody right at the beginning of the month, which is genius if you have people lined up. But that's not me. And I'm usually like, oh, I really want to get one more person by the end of the month. So I'll just, push them at the end of the month just so they get in. So, I think it's all on where your business is. But I enrolled a lot of stylists during the enrollment special from March, right? It was March. And I just, to my great customers, people in my VIP group that constantly ordered, say, look, if anything, this is a great deal. At minimum, you have 5 extra sets that you're getting for free. So try it out, see how it goes. And, for some, it's working out really well. Others, are more laid back in their business, and and that's what I tell them. You can run your business however you want. If you make of it what you want. And if you want to BQ once every 6 months, that's all you're required to do. So I took advantage of that. I let people know to take advantage of that. So that was that enrolling that month. And it was for people that were interested that had told me they were interested before, and some not, some knew, that I said, hey, now is the time. If you're still thinking about it, now is the time to try. So otherwise, I mean, just having a conversation, like you said, don't rule anyone out. Another great thing that I heard in a training that I really feel bad about, things that you learn over time that you're like, oh, I wish I would have been doing that from the beginning, but I didn't know, is when you're prepping your hostess before her party, offer her then. Because she's a good customer, and I didn't do that at the beginning because I didn't know. And so you say, look, no pressure, but I just wanted to let you know that if you're interested in becoming a stylist, we can set up your party under your business. So you'll earn your 25% commission plus your hostess rewards.
Yeah.
And I'll say, no pressure, but I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that to you in case you're interested. Because I don't want them to feel like, oh, great, I already signed up to do a nail bar because you asked me.
Pressured me to
so
do
then
this.
Now it's the next thing, and so I don't want it to be spammy or be like I'm trying to push them. And, there are two ways that people will recommend you do it. Like, one way is to just basically tell them this, this is what you should do, because this is an awesome opportunity. This is what you should do. And then there's the other people that say, give them an out. You don't want them to not reply because they're scared to say no. Right. So I think it depends on what your relationship is with the person and what kind of person they are. But I have tended to, in this instance, to definitely give them the out because they're getting ready to start a party, but you're offering them more incentive. You're offering them, hey, you can get these free sets, but you can also get 25% of that, potential $600 party that you're going to be getting,
and you're still planting that seed. So they're still, even if they say no, they're going to be thinking about it throughout the party. And I know a lot of stylists will basically coach their hostess throughout the party to be a stylist. So they'll have them thank people for orders. They'll have them post fun, interactive giveaways, or they'll have them post, the this or that graphics. Which nail fee do you like? And then at the end of the party, they say, hey, you did everything that a stylist does. Based upon your party sales, this is the commission that you would have earned had you been the stylist. And something else that when you offer that at the beginning is, that's an advantage of doing the single host parties too, because you have that one hostess and that group, and you can flip that to their launch party before the party or after the party. If they decide to join, before or after, you have that opportunity to say, okay, Tiffany, this is your party group, but we can just flip this to your online launch party and we can continue your business in this group. So with the mega parties, you don't really have that option unless you try to go back through and connect who's with who. And
and honestly, I have thought about that, and the best way to do that is to just, so when I have people who have become new stylists, I will, once they get their VIP group up and running, I will give them a shout out in my VIP group and say, hostess shout or new stylist shout out. And then I'll put a picture of them and a little bio that I have them send to me. And then I'll put it there and say, if you'd like to support her business, and then I link their VIP. So I don't limit it just to people who were their friends or that they've added to my VIP group, because I don't kick people out of my VIP group because they're friends with, because that new stylist had added them. I don't, and honestly, my VIP group's so big, I don't even go through anymore and message them and be like, hey, Sarah became a stylist, your friend Sarah, so here's her link. I don't, because honestly, the new stylist is going to be reaching out to her friends anyway. But sometimes during follow-ups of parties for people who have not joined my VIP group, when I'm going to follow up with them, usually it's follow up. How did you like your nails? Do you join my VIP group and post a nail fee there for an entry to win a full set? Instead of doing that, I'll say, hey, I don't know if you know, but Sarah became a stylist. So, join her VIP group here. I'm happy to help you with anything you need, but, feel free to buy from her. I mean, support her.
Okay.
So yeah, so I do the other new stylist shout outs, and I don't set up launch parties for my new stylists. I know that some people will,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a really hard time keeping up with my own business, which is your number one priority.
Yeah.
So but I do share the templates with them, or tag
Yeah.
them in the templates so they can see that launch party template. And then they can do it when they're ready to do it.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, we kind of just talked about how we would present the opportunity to a hostess regarding, the business, but what would you say with like your top VIPs that you may approach about the business side? How would you approach, a number one customer and share the business?
So when I'm thanking them for an order, I'll send them a message and thank them for their order. Hey, I put your order in the mail today, so you should get an email with tracking. But I just want to let you know your stash is amazing, and you have the stash of a stylist. You would save, you could say you would save 25% minimum on what you're spending per month. You're buying every time sets launch. You should really think about taking advantage of being a stylist. And I make it about them.
Yes.
And sometimes they'll say, no, thanks. I just want to buy from you. And that's fine. But I really don't pressure them unless they've been a hostess and they've been, had a really great party. I don't say you could earn this or you could earn that, because it really is dependent on how much work you're putting into the business. And what I found is that I tend to go like balls to the wall with everything I do. And it's really hard when you're like that, it's sometimes hard to see why other people aren't like that. So,
yes,
they're going to run it how they want. So I don't want to promise them that they're going to see the same success that I have, or that other people that are way successful in this business are doing, having. So I make it about what's realistic. Like, what is the minimum that they're going to get? I don't sugarcoat it. I don't make it seem like it's going to be this big, awesome thing. It definitely can be. But I basically just say, like, this is what's going to happen to you if you sign up. You're going to get 25% back on all this that you bought going forward. And you're going to get free sets. So every $300 that you buy, you're going to get 6 free sets. So for those great customers, that's how I approach it with them. And I've had somebody ask me, well, I don't really want a Facebook group. Like, I don't want to have to do all that. I say, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can just buy for yourself. I mean, when you're buying $300 worth of nails by yourself in a month, you've bonus qualified yourself every month. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm happy to take that 25%, but I don't see why you wouldn't want it. So.
I was reading through the comments on the video. I have it pulled up here. Someone had asked, what do you do if they never respond? And this was back towards the middle of the video. So I think it was regarding like maybe the follow-up or asking them to host or something. So how do you normally handle that?
So one other thing about this business, again, like I said at the beginning, it's for fun. Oh, look, my 2-year-old's up from her nap. So she's potty trained, so she probably needs to go sit in the potty. So what I do, I don't take it personally. You can't. This is a business for fun. It's fun. And basically, when you're going to market this awesome product, and it's awesome all by itself, and that's why you're a stylist. So if somebody doesn't want to take advantage of the awesomeness of this product, it's okay. Somebody else will. And then eventually they'll feel like, gosh, I should try it. So you can't be hung up on the timing of things, because everyone's on their own timing. It took me 9 months just to apply a set. Look, if I would have joined 9 months earlier, and I would have been on a whole different team, and it would have been a whole different thing. So everything works out for a reason.
Yeah.
But you can't get hung up on that stuff. And how many of us have open messages as we're doing something else, or how many people's kids have open messages because it pops up when they're doing something on your phone, and then it's lost and you don't reply. So I feel like a lot of us moms don't reply to as many messages as we think we do. Like there are a bunch of messages out there that you just left hanging. So it could have just been just a pure accident. And I had somebody actually message me from a nail bar before this last one that I did from the mega party and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm just now seeing this message. I would love to host a party." Just the other day. So she's going to do, I said, well, I was trying to get her to host my June party, but now that starts next weekend. And I have, 5 stylists, which is what I kind of capped it at because it's too hard otherwise.
Yeah.
But I still offered her that. I said, well, I have one starting next week if you still want to do that one, or we can do July. And she's like, actually, July would work out great. So, people miss messages. So I wouldn't get hung up. I wouldn't overanalyze it. It's really nothing. It's nothing against you. So basically I just leave it at that. So I put, 529 messaged, right? This is when I last followed up. And so I try, it's really bad. I shouldn't even say this. But then I'll try to follow up with them. So I'll go through my list and I'll say, okay, who have I reached out to in June or in March that I haven't yet this month? So I try to touch base with everybody every month. But I'm kind of like 3 months behind. But, just for VIPs and random follow-ups. So you don't know. You just put the date. I messaged them and then just put them back on the list and then get back with them again. And
that's what I was going to say is what you said. Yeah. What you said about opening messages and forgetting to reply.
All the time.
I do that all the time. And that's what I think so much of it too has to do with our mindset. So I think if we feel like we're bugging people, then we're going to feel like we're bugging people. But if it's more of like hey, Tiffany, I'm not sure if you caught my message that I sent last week, but I was just touching base, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you go into it in that manner of like, hey, I know you're busy. It happens to me all the time. I just wanted to touch base. That's totally fine. You're not bugging people. And follow-up is not bugging people. Follow-up is top-notch customer service. Just like you said at the beginning, so many people don't do it. So when you take that time to show people that you care, to reach out to them and check on them, no matter what it pertains to, that really speaks volumes because a lot of people just don't do it. So
and make sure you're friend requesting them, even if they're just in a party in a nail bar and they're not in your VIP group. If you're going to send them a message to welcome them to a party, friend them. I always hit add friend, message. Add friend, message, because once they accept your friend request, which most people do without even thinking about it twice, then it won't go to their spam. They're more likely to see the message. So if you're not friends with them, 90% chance it's because they don't even know how to access their spam folder, which is where it goes when you're not friends. So it's nothing personal. They may not be seeing it. So no big deal. And I actually had a girl who joined my VIP group. I was talking to her on the comments section of the welcome new members. And I had requested to be her friend, but she hadn't replied or responded to that yet. And she actually marked my message to her as spam. So now I can't even message her anymore. So it's like she joined my VIP group, filled out my sample request form. I sent her a sample. So like people just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they like, and I have, so one suggestion, I use your sample request form and I've tweaked it a little bit over time. I've added what is the best way or what's your preferred method of contact? Messenger, text, or email? Because then you want to get their permission to text them if you're going to text them. And I always will Facebook message them first. And if they don't reply, because I'm not going to check that every single time, but if they don't reply or you can see they haven't looked at it, then I will look under there and see like what is their preferred method of contact. And if it's text, then I'll text, or usually then the next step is I'll email them, and they've given me their email address, in that sample request form. So so then you can try it that way. So if I'm following up on somebody who ordered a set and I message them and they don't reply, the next time, so I put them on the back burner, so I'll date it for like a month later, and then the next time I go to see them, I'll pull up their messenger and look and say, oh, they never read that, or they never replied. So then I'll send another message, but I'll use a different way of contacting them. So I'll use email. And so some people reply to the email and never reply to Messenger because maybe they just don't use it. So there's a lot of, tweaks.
Yeah, we also have to remember that our customers are not on social media as much as we are also. So that's something that's like, we work our business off of social media. So a lot of times, we're on our social media in the morning, popping in to check on our VIPs. Maybe at lunchtime, you're popping in. In the evenings, you might be popping in, checking on parties. I'm not sure, how your rundown is, but a lot of people don't even check their Facebook once a day. I mean, I'll have VIPs that come on and reply to something that I posted 3 days before. And then all of a sudden I get all these notifications because they're commenting on the giveaway. They're commenting on the nail fees I've posted the last 3 days. And I'm like, where have you been? I just got 11 notifications from you and you're going through and commenting on everything.
Or they like every single nail fee that you've been like.
And it's like, they're not on social media. They're on maybe twice a week. So that's something that we have to.
But they want to be on your top contributors list.
Yeah. Yes.
We all have those people who are like, I'm being in that top 10 again this month. I'm on a streak. I've never been off of it. So they go in and bam. And that's fine. I mean, but then my friends are like, oh, this post from a week ago popped up on my feed because people are commenting on it now because somebody went back through and tried to catch up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
that's funny.
I mean, Facebook's a funny thing. Social media is a funny thing. And that's why I'm really exploring these new ways to party. And we can do that. I'm waiting to share them until after I've done them and know what I'm doing because it's all just a big experiment. So I'm going to try to do that and then I'll report back. But there was something else I was going to mention. I can't remember what I was going to say.
It'll come
about something about party sales. Yeah, something about party sales. I don't know.
That's okay. We've covered so much information. This video is over an hour long. So,
I know. Dang it. And I just said, these trainings are only 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
I know, but it's so easy to get going and just keep talking and talking. And I love when we do these side-by-side trainings because I feel like it just turns into like this really good conversation and people can pull so much from these trainings that they can implement in their business. And I just love it. So
and that if you guys have a stash, you want to get rid of that secret nail sale that you shared. I had done that and sold 88 sets in an hour while I was taking family pictures. Like it's unlike any other inventory sale, and it's the easiest. You don't have the stress of going live in a live sale, and it's literally it was awesome. Now you can't do it all the time, but I'm definitely having it on my calendar to do like twice a year.
Yeah, definitely.
It was awesome.
That was great.
So search that if you
the secret nail sale.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys that joined us live. And those of you that are watching the replay, if you have questions, just drop them below. And you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend and we'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.
Bye.